We're gonna be reviewing the test today. But go ahead and finish that. All right. Con la hermana Margarita. Okay, we're gonna be reviewing the test. The test, it's gonna be fill in the blank. It's gonna be 5 to 6 questions. And it's only gonna be the first 4 chapters up to criticism, the fact that always change us. So this is what we're gonna do. I don't know the questions. All I know is that they're like 5 to 6 questions. Probably 2 from each chapter. So we're just gonna review it very, very briefly. And if you have your homework, you can go ahead and let me know, send it to my email. Let me go ahead and put it right here in the chat. You can go ahead and send it to me, to my email. And I can go ahead and just give you like the description, and that's more than enough. Okay? As long as I get your paper filled in and I know, so I can tell you what temperament of personality you are, like potential personality. So this is the book. So the test does come from this book. And the answers, the temperaments, the personality, everything's from the book. It's a really good book. I strongly recommend you to get it. It's gonna help you not only in ministry, but it's gonna help you in your workforce, in the anywhere in life, in your household. So whenever you have time, I recommend you to get it. Okay, don't forget to send me the homework. So leading from the highest level. Remember that leading from the highest level, it's the function of a leader is to produce more leaders, not followers. It's very important for you to understand that a leader does not follow people. A leader is the one that wants to help others. So you become a leader by mentoring, with setting an example to others, not only by just being a leader by title, by name, by hierarchy, like, oh, because you have so many years in this ministry or in this job, you are now considered a leader. It could work out there in a job, in a work field, but not in ministry. In ministry, for you to be a successful leader, you start leading by example. Remember, followers are those that a good example are with social media. They're following you, those are followers. You post something, oh, they follow you because they like what you do. But the difference is that leaders, you're actually mentoring. Not only, oh, I have 10 people following me. No, you're mentoring. So that is the difference of leading from the highest level. Okay. And remember that it's very important that the leaders focus. If I'm not even sure that's gonna be your check. You can, that's fine. Only one. You got it. Okay. I'll give it to you right now. So you wanna just open your workbook? In page 1. The leader's focus difference. Way at the bottom. Right here. Okay, the leader focus differences. Remember, let's remember that the leaders who produce leaders focus on the 20% of the group. And the leaders who produce followers focus on the bottom 80% of the group. This is something that our Pastor Donis constantly talks about in our meetings and when we have conferences that have to do with leadership. It's very we have to understand that we want to focus, we want on the 20%, and those 20% are people that go to church, that attend Bible schools. What else? Conferences. Oh, that they help out once in a while. If they are having an activity, you kind of want go and help out. Not necessarily they're gonna do that every day, because depending on each church, this church is very active. But you have to be serving. So that's the 20%. So you want to drag your 80%, and that 80% are people that those 80% are the percentage that the percentage that you have to be like constantly, oh, don't forget there's church tomorrow. Oh, don't forget this speaker's coming here. Oh, can you help us? That's the 80% that we have to push them. So we want those 80% to be on the 20%, but we cannot focus on 80% all the time because it's very exhausting. So they have to be responsible enough to get up to the 20%. This is how leadership works. And this formula is created by John Maxwell, and in Nuevo Nacimiento, we use it. That's how our pastor does everything, their calculations and everything. That's why we have grupos familiares, because you want to, those people that attend the groups, you are training them so they could be on the 20%. Okay, so put a star on it because I know that one's gonna be in your test. And the number 3 on the next page, number 3, the skills of the leader. So the differences. Leaders who produce leaders are excellent leaders. Leaders who produce followers are good leaders. Leadership who works on the basics of trust. People are not going to follow anyone they don't trust. So that is true. What is your opinion, Isaias? Would you follow someone that you don't trust? No, right? Because that's like, no, I don't trust them. I'm not gonna follow them. I'm not even gonna join the groups or anything like that because you are gonna feel like uncomfortable. So those are the skills of the leader and the differences. Now, number 4, the leader times. Leaders who produce leaders spend the equipping people, and leaders who produce followers spend time visiting people. So it's very, very necessary that we focus on equipping our people, equipping them with knowledge. Not only visiting them, and yeah, it's okay to, have a coffee or a dinner or whatever you want to, have a little talk, but equipping them with knowledge of God, knowledge of ministry, knowledge of everything that you've learned in your life, but it has to be based on ministry. So that's very important. And what was the other? Okay. On the last page of this chapter, way at the bottom, you see your ministry will follow your leadership. You cannot have a ministry bigger than your leadership. So that is true. your ministry will always, the ministry is always gonna follow the leadership. So you're not gonna understand, or you're not even gonna find out until, man, how did this group grew, or how's this church growing? It's all due to the leadership. It's all due to what you've been doing. That's how your ministry is gonna get bigger. Not really, but by the followers, but by the way you're teaching them, by the way you're equipping them. So that's very important. Your ministry will follow your leadership. Okay. So now let's go to habits. My leadership habits. This is gonna be your test. Every person who has become successful has simply formed the habit of doing things that unsuccessful people do not like to do and do not do. So we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not a fact, but a habit. First, we form habits, then habits inactivate us in our effort toward a successful future. If we do not consciously form good habits, we unconsciously form bad habits. So be ready to give this explanation in the test. Like, okay, the definition of the habits. So try to focus on 1, 2, and 3. Try to read it and get it clear. Read it 1, 2, 3 until you understand what the definition is. I know that the second one is actually, it's a quote, but it can also help you. Okay, so that's habits. Okay. So on 7, um, turn the page, and number 7, become a person strong in resources in general. People will want to follow you when you give them value. That's very important. And how can we give a person value? Here at the bottom, you find resources. Resources that are gonna help those people grow in knowledge and cultivate those good habits. And that's books, videos, conferences, providing a learning environment, providing an affirming environment, expose them to other successful ministry. So go ahead and make sure you study that one too. Okay. The other one is eliminate the unnecessary loads that should not have. By loads, it's habits that we don't want in our life. Responsibility without authority, the bureaucracy in the church, observed duties, unclear directions, dishonest communication, and support not visible. We need to eliminate that because that's gonna cause friction to other leaders and to our ministry. And if you turn the page, how to create bonds. That's something that we want to work on. It's necessary in ministry. And go ahead and read all of them. Sayas, please.
A, focus on people. Everything begins and ends with people. B, invest energy in being pleasant. C, show interest in others. People don't care how much you know until they know how much they interest you. D, remember their names. A person's name is the sweetest sound that can reach their ears. E, walk slowly among people. Focus on their interests. F, you can gain more people in 2 months by being interested in them than you can do in 2 years in trying to get people interested in you. G, ask for help from others. Nothing makes a person feel more important than doing something for you that you can do yourself, or that you can't do yourself. H, be generous with others.
Okay. Make sure this one in your test, make sure you learn just, if you see those bold letters, people, invest energy, show, remember. That's what you want to remember. You don't have to remember everything, like focus on, no, you just put people. Invest in energy. So that's how to create a bond. Okay, that's gonna be in your test too. And for criticism, the fact that always changes, we were able to finish that last week. So we are going to, I think it was the leaders or the innovators. Okay, the leaders in number 1. Go ahead and read it, Isaias. From the chapter criticism in the fact.
The leader's criticism is something that can be easily avoided by saying nothing, doing nothing, and being nothing. There's
Okay.
no-
Okay. Let's remember that quote. There's gonna be 2 quotes, so you're gonna have to choose which one is the one that is based on the criticism, okay? That's the leaders. Now, the innovators, they emerge into public view because they are agents of change. The question is no longer, will I be criticized, but how can I be successful when I'm criticized? But the leaders, that's the one that you need to review. So the 10 keys to successfully receiving criticism. 1 is understand the difference between constructive and destructive criticism. 2, don't take yourself so seriously. 3, look beyond the criticism and see the criticizer. 4, take care of your attitude. 5, understand the good people are criticized. 6, stay in good physical and mental condition. 7, not only see the critic, but see all the people. Let time vindicate you, associate yourself with or join winners. Focus on your mission, change your mistake. So let's try to review those 2. And that's about it. Okay. That's what's gonna be your test more or less. Like I said, I didn't look at the test very well. I know that it was fill in the blank. I know there was like 6 questions only, so. I'm pretty sure some of them are the ones that I did get to see. Sister Letty will be sending me the test, so I don't have it with me. She's not here today. So just be ready by next week. If you have any question, there's my email. Please send your homework to my email that is on in the chat. I expect it latest tomorrow. Okay, after that, it's gonna be 10 points off every day. Okay. You guys have a good week and stay safe. God bless you.